Hello, my fellow carbon-printed meat golems. I don't know how many times I've been crossed off the list and left for dead. But when it first happens the day you were born, you're gonna lose count. I'm your host, the Furious Nevermind, and today we're having another book review, so if you don't like it, you get off my lawn before I release the hound. I'm the hound, by the way. And today I have a book recommendation from my man's Dom Jarvis. Dom Jarvis, okay? If you're Dom Jarvis, you're the man. If you're not, you're not. Alright, he recommended to me Conquering the Paper Pileup how to sort, organize, file, and store every piece of paper in your house or office by Stephanie Culp. The main theme of the entire book may be summarized thusly. Millions of people are awash in a sea of paper and are looking for simple solutions to this time-consuming fact of life. Now, this was going to be like, what, at 30 minutes to an hour worth of book recommendation? Because I like to get down through there, okay? Forgotten Fury and Don't Hold Back. You don't even know what that means. That's just a word people say, alright? That's like quit. It's like, what's that mean? It means it's like beat something up or stop doing something. Like start doing something else. This means to quit. I don't know. So much like holding back, I have no idea what that means. So to me, quitting is starting something new. But with this whole paper pileup thing, I read this book in like no time flat, and then man, I had like piles and mountains of papers. It was like redundant, don't need it, year ago, 2 years ago, don't need it, redundant. And it was like envelope within an envelope, don't need it. And so I went from 3 shoe boxes to 1 like partial shoe box. So good on you, DJ, good on you. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna streamline it, right? Because the paper pile up is excessive. Because man, this is a long, I'm reading off an email. Man, it's a long email. It's gonna take me like an hour to read it all, okay? Or like 30-45 minutes. And it's not like a book where like a standardized story, like I gotta go through it. This I can just gloss and bang out, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna gloss this like lip. So Stephanie Culp basically says that she's got a little quick process, and it goes like this. 1, sort mail immediately when it is received. 2, overcome desire to hoard paper. 3, be realistic about your reading. 4, don't create paper heaps. 5, set priorities on paperwork. 6, quit procrastinating. 7, avoid the urge to photocopy. 8, never use files as dumping grounds. 9, keep it simple. 10, be selective about what you keep. 11, purge paper collections regularly. 12, don't let paper build up to major proportions. Bam, that's the whole book. If you want to get out now, you get out. All right. If not, hang in there, kitty. We're almost done. So, if you didn't catch that, just press rewind, and I'll leave a link to, I guess, her little whatever, some citations for her, so you can check it up on your own. But essentially, my favorite was purge paper collections regularly, because I always like purging things, you know, in the healthy sense. Got to trim the herd, cull the herd, trim the trees, whatever. So, okay, that's 1 through 12, all right? 12-step process. All right, so what I did was I went through each chapter and I picked out stuff that I thought was important, and every chapter is like, it's gonna take me like 5 or 10 minutes to read. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna skip through real fast, all right? Because I'm like, what, part way through already? Yeah, I'm about a fourth of the way through. So she has this system that she uses, the 12-step system, and within those 12 steps, she has 5 categories, and my middle name means fifth, so I thought that was cool. I always like things with 5. That's why. So her 5 things you can do with any piece of paper are as follows: do it, pay it, read it, file it, throw it away. Very simple. If I'm holding this, I'm saying what am I what can I do with this? I either do the paperwork and I give it to the person. I almost said lady because due to affirmative action. Yeah, I'm going to mention it in this video. You think I'm going to miss an opportunity? Hand it to the woman, all right, because she got her affirmative action job. So I either do it, pay it, read it, file it, or throw it away. All right, man, I'm telling you, each one of those points was a shoebox, pretty much. All right, I think I had, yeah, it's an entire shoebox. Okay, so, and she has points to where it's like, you know, do I really need to do this paperwork? If not, dump it in the dump it or file it. And then like I'll read one from each. And then she's like, pay thing to pay the paperwork. Has this already been paid? If it has, mark it paid and file it. To read the paperwork, is it a sound reason that I must read this? If not, dump it. Another one, to file the paperwork. Keep in mind that 80% of everything you file will never be looked at again, as an example. So, and it's true. To dump the paperwork, make it as easy as possible to throw away surplus paperwork. There it is. Alright, I'm not going to read each little sub question, but there it is. Alright. Anybody who's thinking about it for a few minutes be like, yeah. Even if all you remember, if you don't remember the first 12 and all you remember is do it, pay it, file it, or throw it away, or what's the other one? You see? So if all you remember from this entire review is do it, pay it, read it, file it, throw it away, you're good to go. If you need to go back and review at first when I was talking about the 12 types of paperwork, that actually did help me out quite a bit. So let's see here. Dom Jarvis, man, he got down through there. He like I said, helped me get rid of what, 3 shoeboxes worth of nonsense. I was just stripping and tossing and stripping. It was just like, really? A couple of papers, I found the same paper and it was like a year or 2 apart, and I was like, I filed this and then I refiled it. So it was just awful. Shoeboxes, hoarding, I was doing all of it, okay? Every bad thing she said don't do, I did. And I did it more than once. In the same shoebox, multiple shoeboxes. Alright, so in part 3, Mrs. Culp, whatever, goes into keeping paper in its place. She says, once you're organized, follow these steps to keep up to date with your paperwork. She has another list that we like. Remember the 12 I mentioned? 1. Open and sort your mail only where you have everything at hand to process the paper immediately. Decide on a category for every piece of paper. To do, to pay, to read, to file, to dump. Then she says 2, that was 1. 2, work to overcome information anxiety. Realize you don't have to keep every piece of paper that comes your way. The more paper that you don't store, the better. 3, be realistic about your reading, especially your subscription list. If feasible, have a secretary read the magazines and select items which will be applicable. 4, decide on every new piece of paperwork. Don't create heaps which move from one place to another. Have a goal to handle every piece of paper only once. 5, set priorities to ensure your to-do box doesn't turn into a burial ground. Work your way through the papers and get everything done. 6, quit procrastinating. Try tackling the worst item first and it's all uphill from there. Or tackle it in small segments or delegate it to someone else. 7, avoid the urge to photocopy everything that comes your way. There's no need if you know where you can get the information if you need it later. 8, never use files as a dumping ground. Remember, 80% of everything you file will never see the light of day. 9, keep it simple. Avoid a complicated filing system like the plague. 10, be selective about everything you keep, particularly memorabilia. 11, purge your paper collection regularly. Give yourself every opportunity to rid your life of excess paper as often as possible. 12, Spend a few minutes every day keeping your paperwork in order rather than letting it build up to be a major job. Overall, this book was very helpful, and I had much unnecessary paperwork that was all randomly gathered. So I pretty much broke every last one of our rules. After implementing the organizational methods recommended in this book, like I said, I was throwing paperwork away left and right. I managed to get down to one shoebox, and I might need to switch over to a little file folder. Alright, so good on you, Dom Jarvis. Somebody's got to do it, right? Yeah, that's right. Alright, well, if you all need some help organizing, just watch this real quick video, or if you just have to, read the book, because like I said, I didn't go really deep into depth. But it's a good book, and I'll go ahead and hyperlink the Wikipedia, and you can even kidnap the PDF if you need to, okay? Best believe that's what I did. But alright, this is your host, Forgotten Furian. I recommend other people's channels while I'm bound to no man, and I'll gladly kill you with my teacup. Later, hater.